Oh, that was
not great, but we'll make it work.
It's been a while.
It's been a hot second.
It's
Boy,
fine.
it
You can
sure
sync us
has.
on talking about whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I love how much it's been a while because Sigma Zero Escape just crawled into your brain. I guess technically you crawled into his brain.
Yeah, I crawled into his brain. I miss him.
Yo, Shinji, get in the robot. Your dad loves you. Get in the robot.
Stop. I literally... I catch myself actually sitting here and, like, wistfully being like, oh, I miss Sigma. Like, I'm a fucking wife in the war and I miss my husband.
When will my husband return from the nonary game?
I miss piloting him. I want to inhabit his body so bad.
Oh,
The way we talk about this, like specific wording,
It's on
that's
purpose.
used.
I do it on purpose.
It
know,
really sounds
but
like
it's-
you're jumping into him like the fucking movie Avatar, which I'm sure all of us remember very vividly.
That's what I'm doing.
No, I love also because the different way that we talk about like the characters that we inhabit for video games continues to make the joke of like sometimes a family is not a mom and a dad and two kids. Sometimes a family is two teenagers, a college student, and a toddler. Which I love.
We've got
That joke
Sarah.
is gonna make no fucking
Yeah.
sense to anybody outside of us and
The
Nick.
sense that it is that me, Esther, Alex, and our good friend Nick, who was featured on the show multiple times before, all have quote unquote the protagonist that we quote unquote are, as in the jokes that have happened. We've got Sarah, Your Turn to Die, who is Nick's Ava.
Game persona.
And then there's Sigma, who is my Ava. And then there's Frisk, who is Aster's Ava. And then I don't know his name. Alex, help.
Shuichi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Koichiki, is that it?
Nope, wrong one.
Kuchi? No, wrong one. Okay. Dude, I know so
Kuchi.
little about Dankly Rope Man. Like, I think TikTok thinks I like Danganronpa just because, like, every now and again, like, a good cosplay filters onto my For You page, and I'm like, oh, here's a like, because you did a good job. Like, that wig looks really cool, or what the hell ever. But now it thinks that I know things about it. Like, I get a lot of TikToks. I'm like, I don't know who these characters are. Like, there are, like, jokes about the franchise. I'm like, I don't know what this is, dude.
What's one that's baffling you? Maybe Alex can solve it. Is there anyone?
I could probably find it and send it later.
How
But,
many
like-
creators have you seen?
None, actually.
okay.
It's a lot of Junko.
Okay.
A lot of Junko.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
She does look fun to
That's-
cosplay.
Yeah, I think that's the most recognizable character. I see a lot of jokes about Gundam Tanaka. Sorry, this is about Danganronpa, I guess, now, this opening in my TikTok.
Hang on, do you want to say that title again?
Danganronpa? Danganronpa?
There you go.
There's
an
an
N in there.
I forget that N every time.
It's Dangly Ropeman.
It's partially because I just call it Dangly Rope Man, and also I don't talk about it a lot,
fine.
so
Sometimes you gotta make a conscious effort just not
Yeah.
to talk about Danganronpa.
That's fine. It's
For,
probably
you know,
better
everybody's
for your
well-being.
sanity.
I think it's the yeehaw drawl that just makes the N just slide right out of that word.
I'm not even in that zone. I find myself talking about
My
Danganronpa a lot, but to be
connection
fair, I am.
Is cutting off again.
Oh no!
Oh,
It's
no.
going to be a fun thing you hear.
Oh no.
Oh no! To be fair, I am friends with Alex and Nick.
Yeah, I think it's also like you're in the death game zone, which
Yeah, I've also one of the things that actually, well, a lot of things spurred on Wikiboys, but one of the things that actually spurred it on also is that I sat down with the Danganronpa wiki one day, and
I forgot that you did that.
yeah, I did that I think about a month before we started. It was the Conan wiki, the Danganronpa wiki, and also just the way that I am.
Yeah, you know, I think we just sort of learn about it through osmosis because it's like I think, I don't know if I've made this joke in my head or to you guys. I generally don't know at this point. But it's just like every death game just passes back. Like,
Yeah,
has all
Nick's
these
actually
tropes-
talked about that before. A lot of the death games reference each other.
tropes in common, and then it invents one new trope that like future death games then just pass around.
Yeah.
It's
It's such a fascinating, like, I guess you could call it a subgenre. I wish I could, like, study it. I want to write a thesis on the death game genre. It's so fascinating
insular.
to me.
I love it.
Especially since, like, I am fairly certain that the Japanese death game genre affected the English death game genre, because I'm pretty sure it all stems from,
It stems from Battle Royale.
Yes, Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah,
it's a Japanese novel, correct?
Yeah, Japanese novel turned
Yes.
into a Japanese movie, which popularized it.
Yes, and that's what Hunger Games is based off of.
Correct.
Yep.
Hello, and welcome to Wikiboys, the podcast where three friends dive into the wonderful world of fandom wiki pages. I'm your host, Aster, and I use she and they pronouns.
I'm Alex, and I use he, him pronouns.
And I'm Rick, and I use it in pronouns.
And this week we are going to be talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU, all 22 films and maybe a little bit about the TV shows, but I didn't really ever watch those, so... but yes, all of that. So our mileage, I will start, is I have actually seen all of them now.
A Beast of Burden.
Yes. For the longest time I had not seen all of them, but I think when Disney Plus first came out, there like wasn't a whole lot like fresh and new, so I was like, I guess I'll watch like the one movie that I missed. But yes, I am a Beast of Burden. I have seen all of the existing Marvel movies.
Oh, God.
That's my life, and I'm living it.
Oh gosh, I know that I've missed some of them. I could not tell you which ones because in my mind they're basically all the same movie.
I fully have no idea if I've ever seen one. Other than, like, I guess Spider-Man counts as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I've seen a bunch of the Spider-Mans. I saw, Homecoming, but...
That one counts.
That is, yes, that is part of the Marvel Cinematic
feel
Universe.
like I got dragged into watching Avengers when it was in theaters.
That's
But other than that, I literally don't know if I've ever interacted with the franchise. I have no idea.
Rook, I cannot begin to describe to you how much I long to be in your state of mind. I wish I did not have the burden of these 22 films weighing on my consciousness.
Yeah, like, I know that I've seen more of them. Like, I may have caught an Iron Man on Netflix once.
Unfortunately, most of them
Maybe.
are very forgettable.
But it's so far out of my consciousness that I don't know a thing about a Marvel.
I know many things about a Marvel. And Alex is not wrong when he says, like, they're all the same. Like, I saw a joke earlier today that was like, you know, Marvel fans, after watching their 22nd consecutive 10-minute CGI fight scene, wow, even better than the last one!
Oh, God.
And that is what it feels like. They are very much the same. And to that end, since I have seen all 22 of them, and there are 22 of them as opposed to, I think, like half that for the X-Men movies, I literally sat down, wrote out all of the titles, and then off the dome did a rundown of every single film in the MCU. I will link the wiki for posterity purposes.
Okay.
I'm linking the wiki, I think, because like what I'm hoping is I'll be going down the rundown and you guys will be like, hold up, I need to talk about that immediately. And we can kind of explore. And if not, like, I'll just drag you into the movies that I like and think are good.
That's fine.
But yeah, we now here's a good question. Do you guys actually, I'm going to link the document. Give me a second here.
Okay.
Simply because
God.
I have a lot of like words and I don't want you guys to be like completely lost.
That's fair, yeah. Yeah, let me read ahead and then stay quiet about it for 10 minutes while I wait for you to get there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay. Rook, I love you.
What?
You would not stay quiet.
Depends.
Rook can mostly behave.
It literally depends on if I need to talk about it right now immediately. There have been multiple times where I want to interrupt, but I'm just like, oh wait. This is a big document, huh?
So,
This is sure a big document.
Hey, what's the
yes,
word
this
count?
is.
Oh, okay, it's only 935 words.
It's
Jesus.
yeah, it's like 930 words, but yes.
Okay.
So, this
Can
is
I
all in
request some
chronological
bullet
order.
points?
Yeah, this is impossible to read. That's what you
This
get,
is
Alex.
Possible to read. Thank you.
Okay, some on-the-fly editing. How can you read this like this, Aster? There was no spaces between the different movies. It was just all one big run-on, like, collection of text.
It's because it's how my brain works.
Really?
In general, my
How
brain
do
is
you
a.
read like that?
I don't do that normally. I think it was just like
You had to go.
I had to gotta get the job done,
God.
and so I just went insane. I also think it was easier to write all the titles just like that. Anyways, so we're gonna start with the OG Iron Man. That is the first one to come out. Like I said, that is the OG. It warmonger white man gets a cool new toy. He becomes a hero. He learns that war crimes are bad, but not really. Iron Man origin story.
A little bit.
It's the first one.
I think all I know about Iron Man is he has anxiety and alcohol
We'll
problems.
talk about that.
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
I know he has
He's
a
a-
fucking panic attack.
Yeah, so, Incredible Hulk, 2008. It is literally so irrelevant that the man who plays the Hulk in this movie never returns to reprise his role. It is nebulously not canon. Like,
Oh my god.
they sort of...
Yeah, because to me, the modern Incredible Hulk is just the guy who played Hulk in the Avengers.
Right, yeah, this Hulk is Edward Norton and he never plays the role again. Iron Man 2 is honestly forgettable. I think Mickey Rourke is here. He has some lightning whips. There's a cameo from Elon Musk.
Cool.
Yeah, it's real cool. They're like, wow, Elon, you're so cool and smart with your Teslas or what the fuck ever.
Let's suck your dick.
It's
Can we all
literally
suck
like,
your dick? Can we
it
make
is
Iron
a
Man suck your dick?
it is a 30 like 30-second smart man circle jerk. It's intolerable. I think this is also the movie where Black Widow shows up for the first time. So we get our first taste of girl power, #TM.
Cool. I feel like if you put Iron Man and Elon Musk in the same room, they would just magnet together and start making out, and then they clip through each other's bodies and make the universe explode.
That is almost what happened, and then Iron Man's girlfriend had to like pull him away. Like it almost happened.
Pepper Potts, how dare you do this to us? Derive us of a world where fucking black hole happens and whatever Stark mansion exists. How dare you?
Yeah.
I'm leaning really away from the mic. I'm so sorry. I got so mad about Elon Musk that I just like sank into the carpet.
Oh my god. Okay, so Thor 2011. Kenneth Branagh directs this and it shows. Kenneth Branagh very famously did A Much Ado About Nothing. He's very Shakespearean and theatrical and it shows like it's full of family drama. It's very vibrant, it's very dramatic. Thor gets kicked out of Asgard and he has to go learn how to be a nice boy and not be a stink man. The Loki stands have not emerged yet, but like the seeds are planted for Loki stands to emerge. He's mostly
Were they
unrepentant and stinky.
played by the same people?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Loki doesn't get a whole lot of screen time because he's...
Yeah, I just needed to check if it was the same man.
Yes.
Just to keep the first
Continuity.
sensors
Think-
active.
I think the Hulk is the only person who got replaced. I could be wrong, but
That's fine.
don't quote me. Most of the major players stay.
Yeah.
Captain America: The First Avenger is our next one from 2011. Steve Rogers is a little gay boy from Brooklyn, and he gets pumped full of big boy juice. Then he goes off to World War II and he does a fight. There's Hydra, which are Nazis, but with evil magic.
That's one thing I know. I know about that one vine. That's like, how do you defeat Captain America? It's like, we shot him in the legs because his shield is the size of a dinner plate.
And he's an idiot. The Stucky stands have emerged. The Steve Bucky stands have emerged. Myself among them.
I'm so glad you read that. If you were going to skip over it, I was going to steamroll you and call you out.
No, absolutely not. I'm not ashamed to admit that I like Stucky.
Yeah,
okay?
your blog is like 6 years old or whatever.
Yeah, right.
The thing
Probably
is
older.
that Stucky is good.
Alex, I'm so glad you agree. It's good shit.
I'm not in that zone, but yeah.
It's about the tenderness. It's about the yearning.
It seems
about
like a
the
very
yearning.
nice zone to be in. I feel very Are You Winning Son with everything about the Marvel Universe.
No, I'm actually actively losing with every movie that comes out, but I'm having a good time.
I'm not having a good time. What time are you having?
The one where I turn my brain off and enjoy 10-minute CGI action set pieces that were the exact same as the last movie. I have a remarkable ability to turn my brain off and consume movies like a straight man, which is how I get through.
You like bad movies.
Oh, yes. I also, genuinely enjoy bad movies, and also, can turn my brain off and enjoy movies that, a cis man would enjoy.
Side note, did you ever see Cats?
Sure did.
Not
Do
seen
you not
Cats.
remember? I sent you messages about it.
Dude, my brain is so broken.
I understand, King. Also, my dad slept through most of it and left me to suffer alone through it, so we're not talking about Cats. We're not talking about
That's
Cats.
fine.
Oh,
Maybe we could do
Lord.
a discuss later.
We sure could. 2012, The Avengers. So this is the end of phase 1. The MCU is separated into phases. They basically set up we introduce some new major players, some character arcs evolve, and then we get a real big sort of status quo changing one at the end. I think they are typically the Avengers movies, but don't quote me on that.
Would make sense.
This is sort of the culmination of all the movies before it. It was really cool and epic in 2012, but it was written by Joss Whedon, and it really shows. And if you know anything about Joss Whedon, he was really cool and progressive in the 90s when he wrote Powerful Women, and then as 2012 rolled around, you started to realize right, he's very much was in the camp of people that were we're progressive for their time.
It's revolution just to have a woman.
Right, and so he was really progressive for his time because you weren't getting the kinds of characters that he was putting out, like Buffy. And
Buffy
and
is really
then,
the one you point to.
Right. And then he just kept doing that and kept being weird and sexist about it. So we were like, ooh, this isn't cool anymore. Loki calls Black Widow the old English version of a cunt. So that's cool and a
What
thing
is
that
it?
happened in this movie.
What's
Quim.
it?
He calls her
Quim?
Mewling Quim.
Okay.
Yes, and I remember people looking back on that and be like, hey, that was kind of fucked up, wasn't it? So Iron Man 3 is the one you're talking about, Rook, where Tony has PTSD. Iron Man has PTSD from the events of the Avengers and all of the bullshit that happened. And it was, to my memory, fairly well done. It was really interesting to see that in a superhero film, and I think it was one of the first times that it was hey, these people are going to be fucked up. They,
Especially
go
to
through
show
some shit.
especially to show a man having problems.
And somebody who was this playboy billionaire, kind of almost easygoing, right? So
Yeah, it's too bad Marvel sucks ass.
Yeah, too bad Marvel sucks ass. I think some other things happen. I know that his girlfriend Pepper glows at some point.
What?
I don't know why. She gets some substance in her that makes her go turbo. I haven't seen Iron Man in a while.
What one is it?
Doesn't War
Iron Man
Machine
3.
also happen that movie? Or am I chronologically bad?
Yes. I thought he happened in 2, but honestly, when I don't remember something about the franchise, I'm just it probably happened in Iron Man 2 or 3.
Honestly?
Hang on, I have the wiki page for the movie open. Let me go look.
I was kind of sick of...
I've just control F'd Pepper.
That's fair. I was kind of sick of Iron Man by this point, so I didn't, I think I saw it once when it came out in 2013 and never again. Thor: The Dark World, ass. It's complete ass. Dark elves invade or something. Loki dies, but he comes back. It's really terrible. Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Sorry.
To pivot from a terrible movie to a great one. Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Really good.
2014, a time when the notion of Nazis running the government was a scary thought for a superhero movie. Tonally, I think it is very good. I think it stands as like a really good MCU movie. Like, I would genuinely still recommend this movie to people. And also, Stucky stands Rise Up.
It seems like the darling
because,
of... Sorry? It seems like the darling of the franchise.
In many ways, especially like in 2014, it was like the first one where they were like, it was kind of gritty, but in a way that rang very true. Like, it had a limited cast. It was about slightly more serious things. It was like, hey, we found out that there's widespread Hydra infestation in this incredibly powerful government thing. Uh-oh. We have to deal with that. And so it was a little bit more socio-political, and also gay love broke through evil programming and saved the day, and
Oh, shit.
don't touch me. I'm sad. Guardians of the Galaxy was in 2014. This was an interesting poll. Nobody had really heard of these losers before this movie, and it still manages to fucking kick ass. It's a real rogues gallery of assholes who saved the universe from a very bad blue man named Ronan, who works for T. Hanos. And that was not the first time we saw him, but I think it was the first time we saw him in the actual movies. Like, I think Thanos had popped up once or twice in, like, the after credit scenes, but I think this was the first time.
I didn't even know Thanos had shown up before.
Yep.
No, so they had been definitely building up to him, and so people, I think this was the first time where, like, we see him in the movie, and he's, like, named, I think. They make a decent deal out of it.
Yeah. As far as Ronan goes, I think he showed up in Dark World at one point, and
that's also possible.
that's why he wasn't like, completely out of nowhere.
He's a blue. Yeah. Avengers Age of Ultron, which I believe is the ending of Phase 2. It's ass. It is complete ass.
It's not a good
Tony
movie.
makes an AI, and he is somehow surprised when it breaks bad and starts to control the world. Like, he literally makes, like, fucking Skynet and is like, I'm gonna put a robot in satellites, and then the robot's like, I'm evil now, and he's like, oh no, how could I have seen this coming?
Hasn't he had an evil AI ruin his life before? Isn't that, like, part of his arc?
Not to my knowledge, but I'm fascinated as to where you may have gotten that.
He has like an AI controlling his suit, so I guess I just assumed that would have been a problem before.
No.
Okay.
Jarvis was mostly helpful. But also, oops, Ultron is evil now. Like, he names his fucking AI Ultron and is like, oh no, it's evil now. Like, bro, yes.
What the fuck did you think?
I mean,
if my name was Ultron, I'd be evil too.
Right. And also they turned the Romanovs into kids experimented on by Hydra. I'm not mad. Do I sound mad? They turned canonically Romani kids into white bitches experimented on by Hydra because of dumb legal shit that means they can't be the mutants. Am I mad? Do I sound mad? Oh, and women that can't have babies are monsters. Joss Whedon, am I mad? Do I sound mad? Joss, am I mad? Joss Whedon, do you think I'm mad? Because I'm mad.
Holy shit.
I hate this
know
fucking
anything
movie.
about Age of Ultron.
I need to emphasize for anybody listening, all of that little bit that Aster just said was written down almost verbatim in the document.
You should get a non-editing link to this and we could put it in the description.
I will for sure.
If you want to never delete it.
I think that's actually what you guys have is a non-editing version.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
This was the one where I broke my rule of like trying to keep it to 2 or 3 sentences because like the more I thought about this movie, the more mad I got. I do want to briefly delve into, so the weird legal thing is the Maximovs are technically mutants, and the mutants are owned by Fox, and they were owned by X-Men. So they could use the characters, but they couldn't call them mutants, and so they're like, well, shit. How are they going to get these powers that they have if they're not mutations? Because, at least off the top of my head, I don't think there's anybody in the MCU who's not a mutant who has just like a weirdo mutation. So their best idea was to take canonically Romani characters, make them white, and have them experimented on by their Nazis. So that's a cool thing that they did. I'm moving on.
I can think of
Joss.
approximately 6 other ways to approach that.
I have one. Don't put them in the fucking movie because they don't do anything.
That would be step 1, is don't do it.
And he
They don't do anything.
He didn't treat them well. And Scarlet Witch, she has been in the franchise since this, and she has never been a good character. I'm gonna move on before I get mad. More mad.
We move on.
Get mad later. We have other movies to get through right now.
Ant-Man 2015. Paul Rudd is God's perfect delightful boy, and we love him. Ant-Man can get real small and also real big because of Pym particles. That's it. He gets a suit and it lets him get real big. I think he can also talk to ants.
Isn't what? Isn't
Communicate
Ant-Man
with
the one that
ants.
was a heist movie?
Yes, it's a heist
Yes.
movie.
Okay.
It's a very self-contained heist movie.
Yeah,
If you didn't know
it
it was a
seems
Marvel
very
movie, it wouldn't have to
self-contained.
be a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it is also fun because, like I said, Paul Rudd is a delight. Next, Captain America: Civil War. Oh, MCU reducing one of the best and biggest comic events into little more than a petty squabble between Tony and Steve. At least this movie had Black Panther T'Challa say that he didn't care who Hawkeye was, which is relatable. Basically, this one, the government's like, hey guys, you keep fucking up and killing like a lot of people. The UN has decided that maybe like we need to be in charge of you now.
Yeah, which is
and
fair.
There was like an ideological battle between like, hey, should we be allowed to do what we want? And, no, I think we can't let like a government, which has the possibility to have lots of biases and influences or whatever, tell us where to go and get caught up in red tape preventing us from being where we need to be. Or do we need to be held accountable because half of us are superhumans and don't exist?
Yeah.
Like, we need accountability. It's much more nuanced in the comics, and
Aren't all
most critically,
things?
they actually we're on the same, like, Tony and Steve were on the same side in the comics of like, no, we don't need to be regulated, like, we know what we're fucking doing. And then in the comics, this group of bumfuck yeehaw superheroes, they're not yeehaws, like just idiot superheroes, gets like a lot of people killed.
Ooh.
And that's when Tony's like, oh shit, we know what we're doing, but there's a bunch of yahoos out here who want to be like us who don't know what they're doing. And so it was less about should we be controlled by the government and should like meta humans or whatever be controlled by the government. Should like we keep a little bit of tabs on people to make sure that this doesn't happen again, and people who don't know what they're doing and don't have training fucking kill a bunch of people. So anyways, instead it's reduced into like a 2-hour fight, but like Black Panther is there, so that's great. And I'm not kidding when I say like the best part of the movie is like they have this big fight and Hawkeye's like, oh, I'm Hawkeye, and T'Challa's like, I don't care. It's really relatable.
Isn't Hawkeye just a marksman?
He's literally just a dude with a bow and arrow. He has
Yeah, he
no
doesn't have,
special
like, any powers.
He doesn't have any powers.
I do love him just for that he's just is there to shoot arrows. I think it's fun.
Hawkeye can be a good character, but their rendition of him is not.
Yeah, I know that comics
very
Hawkeye
boring.
is particularly very good.
Matt Fraction run of Hawkeye, which I still need to read, but it
Yeah.
goes on
The
the
Matt
never-ending
Fraction run
list.
is very good.
Doctor Strange 2016. Hello, I am Doctor Strange. I didn't watch this one for a while because I literally couldn't stand Benedict Cumberbatch by this point. And the Ancient One, or whatever the hell the character's name is a bald Tilda Swinton, so they don't piss off the Chinese market because it's supposed to be a Tibetan dude. But the visuals on this one are sumptuous. If I did a weed, this would be like a great high movie.
I read that line about 5 minutes ago and I almost lost it at it.
So I would say, like, now that it's on Disney Plus and you can watch it pretty consequence free, like you give it a single view on the streaming platform, it's enjoyable for the
It's not
visuals
enjoyable.
alone.
Maybe if you
It's
happen
not
to have a weed.
the whole bullshit does not overcome The visuals do not overcome the full bullshit. However,
Alex,
it is fun to watch because you get to enjoy watching Benedict Cumberbatch try to do a New York accent for about 2 hours.
Oh God, wait! Doctor Strange is supposed to be a New York boy.
Yeah, he's from New York.
He's from New York. Which is why that clip of the
So
McElroys
funny.
making fun of his accent exists, which is
I'd never even heard it. I didn't know he was supposed to be New York. I thought he was just supposed to be American.
Supposed to be.
Why do we keep
a
hiring
surgeon
actors
from
to
New
do
York.
this?
I don't know. And
Does not
Britain,
sound like
Can
it.
we leave
Brit-
European actors alone?
Britain only has like 12 actors. I don't know why we keep doing this to them.
No.
We have enough white, angular men that can speak. I don't know if we have many actors that still have a full-on New York accent, since Hollywood kind of beats it out of them, unless they play mobsters.
Yeah, but even still, I mean, if you had a dialect coach.
Yeah.
But whatever. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, 2017. It's not as good as the first one, but Peter Quill has daddy issues in this one, so... if you know anything about me, that means I like it.
Do you kin him?
No, but unfortunately the way that you said that makes me feel like I am legally obligated to put him on my kin list.
No, don't do that.
You learn he's like a half god or celestial
Oh.
or eternal or whatever. I don't remember what the term is, but basically celestial, thank you. Eternals or something else. And there's a little bit of a redemption arc for an abused daughter of Thanos, Nebula. She kind of breaks away from Thanos, and
Someone
she's not like...
fucked Thanos?
Yeah. So,
He's
Gamora...
fucking nuts?
who was in the first one, and obviously the second one, she used to be with Thanos, and kind of in the first one, she's like, this fucking sucks, dude. And in the second one, Nebula's like, hey, this actually does fucking suck. So she kind of breaks away and goes and does her own thing and, like, gets a little more normal and less, you know, she's still, like, very stinky. I would call it a Vegeta redemption arc insofar as, like, she's still very stinky, but she's not, like, a villain anymore because she's like, wait, this fucking sucks.
Biologically?
No. So the thing with Thanos is, like, he would just go around killing planets and then just just
he
pick
just
up
stole a kid.
children. Yeah, he would just like scoop up.
I thought someone fucked Thanos.
You know, it's possible, but it's not canonical.
Highly unlikely.
Highly
Because
unlikely.
it just makes me think about that image. It's like you should have aimed for my fat fucking nuts, my huge balls or whatever.
Yeah. Spider-Man Homecoming 2017. I want to see my little boy, even though they ruined him. Okay, so basically what happens in Spider-Man Homecoming is they steal Miles Morales, and then they give his plot to a little white twink, but I don't want to read this verbatim. Cheem's face. I like him.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy Homecoming, and I still desperately want to see fucking Into the Spider-Verse.
I want to let you in. Yeah, like, they literally, instead of...
I want to watch it on our stupid big TV.
Peter goes to, like, a smart boy school,
Yeah.
and, like, his friend is much more like Miles's friend, but... And they also do weird things with his... Like, he has a weird father
They also
thing
shove him at
with-
Tony and can make him complicit in Tony's war crimes.
Yes, Jack Saint voice.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok 2017.
I'm gonna interrupt you. I want to say simply that I simply think Spider-Man is not more interesting. I love all Spider-Mans very equally, most of them. I think he's very good when he's a teen boy.
No, yeah, I like Teen Boy Spider-Man. It's very
Teen Boy
charming.
Spider-Man is.
I am
Teen
also
Boy Spider-Man,
very
college student Spider-Man.
yeah. I am also
two
very
separate
much in
things.
love with like OG college student Peter, but I there's something to a teen boy Spider-Man. He feels like a very teen superhero.
Yeah. Hey, Morgan, also,
Continue.
did you know that his actor is British?
He is.
Yes.
Shit.
Now he
And he
does
does a good job.
He does a fantastic job with
Yeah,
his
if you
Queen's
held a
accent.
gun to my head, I would have said he's American, or at least maybe like Canadian.
No,
to
he
put
is-
a little
he's-
bit of weirdness in it.
He is British, but he does a really good Queen's accent. I gotta give him credit for that. So whatever linguist coach they didn't hire for Benedict Cumberbatch, they clearly got for home for
Right?
Tom Holland.
Maybe they learned
Good
their
job,
lesson.
Tom Holland.
Thor Ragnarok 2017, God's perfect movie. Taika Waititi really said nations aren't a place, they're a people, and made white people care a little bit about diaspora populations. Loki stands rise up. Basically, as the title suggests, Ragnarok, the end of days, is going to come to Asgard.
Right.
And they try to solve it, but eventually Thor's like, wait a minute, Asgard is its people. They get on this big ship and they fly away. Loki also kind of has that Vegeta redemption arc where he's still stinky, but he's around.
Yeah, I remember now. Thor Ragnarok is the one that everyone was really horny about. That's all I know about it.
Yes.
And they deserve to be. It's fun. It's colorful. Jeff Goldblum is in it, who is a constant delight.
Jeff Goldblum was very good in it.
It's a good movie. It is in the pantheon of things that I would just straight up tell people to watch. Black Panther 2018, really good Afrofuturism. There are like no white people in the movie except for that little troll Martin Freeman.
Right, he was there.
Which I think he's genuinely there to make fragile white people more comfortable. And I love that. Like,
Because what is the most fragile white person? Martin Freeman.
Precisely.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, you just called him fragile. I didn't know if that was, like, alluding to something.
No, I'm just making fun of him.
Okay.
No, he's just short and seems like he has a delicate constitution.
Okay.
He's very Hobbit-esque, which is appropriate.
Why he was in The Hobbit. You should also watch this.
Talking about this when I'm 5'3".
Yeah, but he like has hobbity like proportions. Like he just looks like a hobbit in the all of him, not just because he's short. You should also watch this. It made people white care about diaspora issues. 2 movies in a row they do this. Taika Waititi and Ryan Coogler, you are my only bitches. Avengers Infinity War. Okay, so Thanos is the big bad. And he's going to get all the Infinity Stones, which are these like cool boy rocks that give him unimaginable power. All 6 of them lets him snap half the people out of the universe because my boy failed sociology and econ 101. And he's like, if I get rid of half of the people, half of the living creatures, that will somehow solve problems.
Do you want to?
No.
Do you want to?
No.
Do you want to go on? Do you want to go on him?
The reason that this doesn't make sense.
Since you so rarely get to take your degree out.
Oh, unfortunately, I don't know a whole lot about sociology, but basically, like, if you get rid of half of the resources that people have as well, so if you kill half the animals.
Yeah. I didn't know that him snapping also killed the animals. I thought it was just people.
Oh, the directors confirmed it killed animals. All life.
Damn.
So you have halved the population. And is
that a dice roll or can he control that?
Dice roll.
Okay.
Dice roll. Which I still maintain that if he had snapped and it had killed him, it would have been a better movie. Anyways.
That would have been great.
So it's random. So he could have, by pure chance alone, decimated entire planets, left planets entirely alone. So he's not going on a planet by planet basis and going, half of you are gone, half of you are gone, half of you are gone.
Oh, was it universal?
Yep.
Universal. Statistically, half of the universe. At a random draw of the hat.
What the fuck? I thought it was just Earth.
No.
No.
No, because he's an alien and it happened to his planet, and instead of being like, we should be socialists or whatever, he's like, I'm gonna do a big fat nasty murder. Now, the reason that this doesn't make sense is because, once again, it was a change from the comic books.
Oh, really?
Big change.
Oh, so, God, how'd they fuck up?
In the original Infinity War, Thanos has a crush on Lady Death.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Death for real or a superhero named Lady Death?
Death for real.
Okay.
Death for real. The actual personification of death. Who is dating Deadpool?
Who is dating Deadpool.
Of course he is.
And so Lady Death is like...
Damn, Thanos wants to steal his girl.
Yeah, Thanos wants to steal his girl. And so what he does is he amasses this amazing cosmic power and kills a bunch of people to try and impress her.
Ah,
and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So as stupid as I want to kill a bunch of people to impress the personification of death is as a plot,
it makes more sense.
It makes more sense.
You saying that made me go, I see. I get it now. It's still stupid as hell, but like it's better. It's more motivation.
Right, and it makes his illogical action of snapping half of the life out of the universe.
It makes more sense. It's like, oh, how do I impress death? Do a big murder.
Do a huge murder. And there's
work.
less thought to the consequences of what happens if I kill a random half of the universe.
I love also that because depending on how you personify death, that means that Thanos just gave that woman a lot of paperwork.
Yep. But obviously the reason is Deadpool is a mutant. He's not owned by the Marvel Corporation.
They can't touch him.
They can't touch him, which means that in order to steal Lady Death from somebody, they had to have somebody to steal it from.
Couldn't they just
So they just
invent
cut it.
And
someone?
so they went for somebody who
I don't know how
failed
superhero
econ.
character rules work. Maybe it's like you can't give her a new boyfriend.
Maybe they also thought it was too stupid to carry a movie, but then maybe the writers just failed sociology and econ 101.
Either way, it's dumb, and Infinity War is a bad movie.
It's a bad movie. Ant-Man and the
It's
Wasp.
also like 2.5 hours long.
It's so long.
So fucking long. I fell asleep twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you watch it in theaters?
No, I watched it in my house on bad bootleg.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, 2018. It's a fun sort of like buddy cop type movie. We get more out of the titular Wasp. She's very fun. Her suit can fly. Fairly low stakes, especially after Infinity War. There's like
I'm surprised they put that after Infinity War.
I think it was sort of a tone shift. It was like, you know, they're dealing with it a little bit, but it's also like we don't want you guys to just be constantly sad, so we're gonna do this. Paul Rudd is still God's perfect boy, and the villain from that one is kind of cool. She is like keeps phasing through space, and it causes her a lot of pain, and so she's like a chronically ill person who was promised like a solution by this dude, and it's a decent movie. I don't know if it would be one of the ones that I would immediately recommend to somebody.
It sounds
but
like one you would. It sounds like one that's good for farming stuff from to use for power.
Yes, and also like it stands on its own. So if somebody wanted to just like watch it on its own, it's pretty enjoyable. Captain Marvel 2019. Men hate her for this one simple trick, not smiling all the time. It is very like white woman # girl boss power. But despite the amount of money that they funneled from the Air Force is like a decent-ish mainstream examination of wartime propaganda and how the views of disparate populations like changes based off of whose side you're on. Like Captain Marvel starts on one side, learns that the side she's on is doing some fucked up things, and switches sides. Also, lesbians rise up. Your queen is here. Captain Marvel is here.
Very gay.
It's so gay. Avengers End Game.
It's gay. They wear jumpsuits.
Now, hang on. I want to ask: is Wonder Woman not Marvel?
No, she's DC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, where's Wonder Woman?
In an entirely different franchise.
Where's the other woman? Yeah, that makes
The
sense.
other one.
She doesn't live here.
Yeah. Avengers End Game. Okay, so in the shortest that I can possibly explain the plot of this incredibly dense movie. Time shenanigans happen. The writers don't even agree that it makes sense. The Avengers hop through time, get the cool boy rocks, and finally kill Thanos. Stucky fans unrise because Steve made a cuck choice, and everyone who was dead is back again.
Oh no. What was his choice?
He chose to stay in the past with his lady friend instead of in the future with his friends. So Steve is suddenly an old man.
A heady.
So Stucky fans unrise. And the final one. Finally. I know I said this was going to be a shorter rundown, and I love that it was shorter and had more movies. It's still long, but it had more movies, so I don't feel as bad.
That's fine.
Spider-Man, Far From Home. Tony Stark was maybe a bad man. Epic capitalist dunks on workers, and then the workers are framed as villains when they're mad. you know what? You've seen the Jack Saint video, so you kind of know what's up with this one.
If you haven't, go watch it.
If you haven't, you should go watch it. And also, basically, Epic Dead Iron Man gives power of an incredibly powerful surveillance system to like a 16-year-old, which is like cool and normal.
Yeah.
It's an okay movie of
It's
only
a fucking drone strike machine to a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
and he almost accidentally kills one of his classmates because he doesn't know how to use it. It's an okay movie, if only because I love my little boy. And so when Spider-Man is here and he's doing the Spider-Man things, all thoughts leave my head, and I'm just like, Cheem's face, I like him. And that is my.
Spider-Man.
I love a Spider. I love a Spiderman.
He's tiny and I like him.
He's small and I love him. But that is the last one to have been released. We are actually coming up on a year without any Marvel movies. The universe is healing.
Oh, yeah.
But yes.
Do we know what the next one is?
Black Widow.
Ah, I see. Another
Yes.
woman.
In so many ways. So I want to... Okay. Black Widow should have come out in 2014. Because it was when people still cared about her character. People were not as aware of how like shitty of a person Scarlett Johansson was. Like she didn't have as big of a reputation.
It also
for...
like sorry to talk over you. It doesn't seem also like it makes sense after Endgame to do a character specific movie.
Yeah.
The only reason I can see them doing this is for like SJW points because we did a woman movie.
Yeah,
we did it. You guys don't. You guys don't need to have one for another like 6 years. It's okay now.
I am firmly in the camp that it is to get one out before Wonder Woman 2 or whatever comes out.
I see.
So that they can say, oh, we have 2 woman movies before DC did.
Yeah, I believe
also,
that.
Rook, are you familiar with what happens to Black Widow in Endgame?
No.
So one of the cool boy rocks is on a planet called Vormir. Don't ask me which one, and frankly, I don't care.
I wouldn't know.
But basically, there's...
Did they dress her up like a fucking... Did they undress her?
No.
Okay.
So in Avengers Infinity War, T. Hanos goes to get the one, and so I guess it's technically Red Skull who is a Hydra dude, but he's also not a Hydra dude. I don't know. I don't understand.
I don't understand what they did to Red Skull. Don't ask me. I don't want to know. I don't want to think about him.
I don't care. But anyways, he's like, you have to get this. You have to give up something you love. So he throws Gamora off a cliff, and then he gets a cool boy rock. Mm-hmm. So in Avengers End Game, when they all go through time and blah, 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 they go back in time. And Hawkeye...
I see.
And Black Widow go, and they both argue about who deserves to die because both of them have, done bad stuff. Shockingly, Hawkeye, more recently, when he went rogue under the codename Ronin and just killed like a lot of people of color.
Oh,
he just like went and did nasty.
Now,
like
wait, is that the same Ronin as the man who was the Blue Man, or?
Okay, no. Hawkeye.
Do you want to open the wiki for this one? Is there to be a disambiguation page?
Yes. So that's Ronin, like rogue samurai.
Okay.
Blue Man is Ronan.
Okay.
It's a little bit less confusing if you've, seen all 22 of the movies. But yeah, Hawkeye goes nasty and he just starts killing people. And for some reason, that means he gets to live. So anyways...
Yeah, because he's a man. He's absolved from all crime.
And despite the fact that most of the people who died in Infinity War come back when they unsnap, people who did not die as a result of the snap do not come back. Gamora is back because of weird time shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how the timelines work in
They don't.
Infinity Wars. They don't.
They don't. Like, the Russo brothers literally have differing opinions on how it works.
Cool way to write movies.
They wrote the movie and they can't even agree. And it's not like, oh, the director and the writer have different ideas, or these characters. No, the two writers.
They need to get
who are
bigger books
brothers.
like we have.
So
We just brainwave.
Literally, you could write two portions of the script in separate rooms and just come together, and it would be. You could just mish them together.
Yeah, me and Esther have very similar ideas about stuff, and where we don't, our ideas usually mix together to make something like even more epic.
So
Peanut butter banana sandwich.
after they kill her, then they decide it's time for her to get her solo movie.
Yeah.
Who
y'all?
fucking So now we're like, well, who fucking cares? Like, you killed her off.
That's the complete wrong time to put. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have any other female superheroes, right?
So they have
Technically, have Scarlet Witch.
They have Scarlet Witch. There's Wasp. There's
Oh, do a fucking Wasp movie.
Well, they sort of did Ant-Man and
Do
the
another
Wasp.
one. Yeah. They'd ruin her. I'd say like this wouldn't ruin Black Widow even more.
Widow can't be ruined anymore. She's done.
Yeah. Gamora, I guess, but she's doing her thing.
So Marvel, think about how long we're taking to come up with any of the names of your women characters, and consider maybe you did a bad job.
Hey, Aster, can you name 5 of them off the top of your head?
Five.
Well, actually, you just named 5. Are there at least 10 of them?
Oh, yes. No. If I hold in my brain the girl power shot from Avengers End Game, I think I can probably list off 10 women in the MCU. Okay,
list all the
let's
women.
go. I'm gonna go off the top of the dome. All right.
Characters?
I'm gonna open up category women.
Captain Marvel, Black Widow, Shuri, Scarlet Witch.
I need to interrupt you. It's category females, which is cool and normal.
Oh.
Well, I almost want to be like, there's enough aliens that I can almost allow that. I sort of get it. It's still weird.
I'm looking at a lot of people.
But I get it. Okay. All right. Off the top of the dome. All right.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, Black Widow, Wasp, Shuri, Rescue, who is Pepper Potts. She gets her own suit in this one.
Doesn't Pepper Potts die?
I don't know. It happens in the comics.
Okay.
Agent Hill. Did I say Scarlet Witch already?
I think you did.
I think I said Scarlet Witch already. Mantis, Gamora, Nebula, and Okoye, who was from Black Panther as well.
Okay.
There might be more.
Yeah, I am looking at category females, and I'm looking at a lot of women, but I'm assuming most of these are background characters and/or characters that just die.
Yeah, I recognize almost none of these names. There's also Convenience Store Clerk, which is a very fun character.
Throw me a category of women. I want to see how well I did. Actually,
yeah.
Let's go to Avengers End Game and see if they have like a section for the girl power.
God.
It's so...
I can't get over category females.
It was so blatant. Oh god, this fucking movie is so long. Oh, I forgot about Valkyrie. Which I shouldn't have because she's epic and I love her.
Valkyrie is good.
I don't know why I'm looking at this character like I know who any of these people are. Or, not character, category.
So the majority of it is fucking nothing.
Yeah.
I really thought they would mention the girl power thing.
Why would they?
Because, like, all the girls band together to help Spider-Man get somewhere?
Okay, all the girls band together to babysit the teenager?
A little bit, but it's, like, during a battle, so I sort of, like, I get it.
Okay. Not like they couldn't have split up.
Well, they do, but, like, they all come together for the girl power moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like...
Can you get a picture of this shot for me, Aster?
Oh, I bet I
That's
can.
what she's tried.
Oh, yeah. Okay, turns out when you look up Avengers Endgame girl power moment, it happens. Okay, here we go. Which this really calls into just how sad the state of women in the MCU is that you can fit them all on one screen.
Yeah, right. You couldn't
Just
fit all
about.
the... Wow, Jesus. You couldn't fit all the... Is that a Pegasus?
Yes, Valkyrie has a
Yes.
Pegasus. She's epic, and I
Okay.
love her.
Cool.
Yes, she could because she is a Valkyrie.
Yeah, makes sense.
She's cool, and I love
I
her.
don't think you could physically fit all of the men in one shot.
You could not.
Well, the posters sure try.
They
tried to do
try.
that.
They look bad.
Oh,
But
this is
yeah.
a fuck Marvel zone. All my homies hate Marvel.
Marvel sucks.
As somebody who went to see almost all of these movies in the theater, fuck Marvel. All my homies hate Marvel.
It's bad.
It's bad, you guys. But yeah, I think I'm fairly certain all of the heroes that I was able to name off the top of the dome like are the ones who appear in that girl power shot. I could be forgetting a couple, but not any that are really major players.
What's this character that looks like a female Iron Man in the back?
That is Rescue. That's Pepper Potts.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes
so
sense.
yeah, I don't.
She is fucking Marvel.
She gets. So I could sit here for a while and try to explain why she gets her own suit, but I think it's just that. Oh, Rook, let's talk about this scene where Pepper has to like reach inside of Tony's chest cavity.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
terrible.
I didn't know what was going on with Tony's physical form, but I didn't know that you could put your hand in there.
So in the first movie, he like basically the reactor in his chest is to actively stop a piece of shrapnel from advancing towards his heart.
Question, how did he get to putting a reactor in his chest?
Because it's a dumb superhero premise made up.
No,
in the 60s.
tell me.
So if I remember, it's that he gets captured and his captors are like, please build us a bomb. And they give him a bunch of stuff to build a bomb with. And he's like, okay, instead I make an epic Iron Man suit and also create this arc reactor in my chest. I think, again, it's been a minute since I've seen the first Iron Man. But yeah, somehow his first line of thought is not, how's about I have a surgery? It's, how about I put this thing in my chest? And not even as a temporary measure. He keeps it in for like 3 movies.
It's supposed to be temporary. I don't know, like, I don't know what I thought his heart flashlight backstory was, but it wasn't that. And I didn't. None of that was in my. What the fuck?
Also, yeah, Alex, this is a really cool fucking profile picture for Pepper Potts, where her relationship with a man is
Literally
the most
her
important.
defining trait.
Literally her defining trait, and the most important thing in the picture. She's like holding a broken Iron Man helmet.
Yeah, it's just Pepper Potts sadly looking down at an Iron Man head with a cut in it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think she like gets a suit in Infinity or in End Game because she's like, I can fight too or whatever. Fucking, I don't
No, I don't know where any of this information comes from. Don't Pepper and Tony A have at least a pregnancy scare and B are divorced?
So in Endgame, they have a child, a daughter.
Okay.
But that child gets reversed
Oh.
because Endgame is a bad movie.
Did it unpregnant her?
I think it unchild, like they had a full like child.
Because it was like, what, like 12 years after the whole situation?
Yeah. or
Wait, what? Wait, hang on, what?
So yeah, Avengers Endgame takes place like a good chunk of time after Infinity
What?
War.
I totally thought it took place like a couple months after.
No.
Like everybody's like, I guess we just have to live like this now. And then at some point,
Was
people are
Thanos
maybe
ruling over them? What the fuck?
Where
was Thanos for those 12 years?
Not fucking death.
Yeah. So yeah, it's insane.
Are you
It's
guys okay?
Huh?
Are you guys okay?
No.
No, I have to live with this in my head. Like, fucking every... So, I want to talk about Steve Rogers' cuck choice a little bit more.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about how, like, the fucking director, like, the writers can't agree on what happened. So, basically, they were like, wait a minute. So, in the original timeline, Steve goes down in a plane in the 40s and he gets frozen. They de-thaw him in 2012 and then he runs around doing superhero things.
Yeah.
He's still a spry, I don't know, 20-something, 30-something.
It's probably like 22 or something.
I don't know how old he's
Gotta
meant
get him
to
young.
be. A young army age dude.
Yeah, so anywhere from 18 to 25.
Right, somewhere in there. A fairly spry fella. And so from 2012 onwards, he's running around. He is, you know, doing stuff. He is helping save the world. So then when he goes back in time, back to the 40s and stays and lives out his life with his lady friend. Peggy, thank you. They literally can't agree as to whether the events of him still running around like in 2012 happened or didn't happen. They like literally just can't agree.
But is he not in the present now?
So he's in the present now and he's old.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the
So
timeline
they-
doesn't make sense.
Now,
So-
do they show do they CGI him into an old man?
Yes.
Oh, they do!
Please show me.
Old Steve.
Yeah, so when you were talking about that, I thought you were talking about Bucky.
No.
Nope.
Bucky is still
Which is
young.
why I was really confused. I was like, oh, Bucky stayed behind, right? That's the one you're talking about? The one with black hair, right?
Hey.
Oh my
All
god.
of his aliases are listed on the Captain
Aster, can you find me a
America
gif
page.
of this CGI'd man moving?
I think I can.
I want to see. It won't be
You
good.
don't. He looks like he'd call me a slur on his bad radio show.
Oh.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna make you both want to hang up the call.
Okay.
He looks like Joe Biden.
Ah. Alex left.
Alex did as promised and left the call.
Yeah, I just
I'm
live
back
with you
now.
like this, so.
I hate this.
He does. He does look like Joe. Wow, an all-American boy.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to read all of the aliases that are fucking sourced
Yeah.
on his wiki page
On whose?
because they just keep going.
On Steve Rogers' page?
Yep.
Oh, fuck, they sure do! Oh, Rick, hold on. I am copying and pasting this link. It's
Yeah,
real
please.
good. It's a real good time.
Oh, it's a real good time. I'm going to
Where
start
am I
reading that because I
looking?
want to. Steve Rogers, Captain America, Cap, the first Avenger, the
Oh,
little
wait,
guy,
oh,
soldier,
God.
90-pound asthmatic, mystery man, American soldier, the Star-Spangled Man with a Plan, America's New Hope, Tinkerbell, Chorus Girl, America's Golden Boy, woo, little guy from Brooklyn, the American, a simpleton with a shield, a kid from Brooklyn, the world's first superhero, Capsicle. Laboratory experiment, the super soldier, the living legend, the man out of time, the sentinel of liberty, costume hero from the 40s, the hero who sacrificed everything, fossil, the greatest soldier in history, specimen, symbol of courage, symbol of the nation, hero of the world's first superhero,
Super
Oh,
soldier.
we already had that one, super soldier.
Super soldier.
Oh, it's different this time. Everyone's favorite war hero, the running man, big guy, the man on the bridge, the old man, God righteous man, flag waver, old dude with a shield, war criminal, tired old mule, America's ass, Loki, America, Roscoe, Captain Stevens.
What the fuck? I love that we go from, like, the living legend, the sentinel of liberty, the hero who sacrificed everything, fossil,
Tired old mule. War criminal.
war criminal,
War criminal, I think,
world
is the
of war
best one.
crimes.
Oh, I guess that's in Spider-Man Homecoming?
Really?
I guess.
I don't remember that. That's what the,
They call him world criminal? I said world criminal.
I love America's ass.
America's ass is very good.
It's real good. Yeah, so the thing about Steve Rogers and what makes me so mad about what happened at the end of End Game is I like him so much as a character. He's not always super well written, but like he's usually pretty consistent, and well, he's a white blonde dude, so like they care about him.
Yeah, they'll write him well.
And so, but unfortunately I have white boy disease. And he really fits my character type of big arms, some thoughts. I would not classify him as a himbo. He's more of like a golden retriever man. Insofar as like he's not stupid by any means. But
Well, then he's not a golden retriever.
That's well.
Golden retrievers can have some intelligence when motivated.
Yeah, I always think of like a golden retriever, somebody is like who, if they would need to be a little bit dumber to be a himbo. Like they have certain things that they're really good at. Like golden retrievers are very good at retrieving, but they're not very good at
Applies.
Himbos
a
are
lot
good
of
at
other
stuff.
Yes, my favorite. This scene that Alex has posted is also where I think it's Peggy like reaches out and like bops his
just grabs
titty.
him.
Just like
Of course,
taps
this
his.
is your favorite.
Well, it's very relatable. He pops out of his big boyification chamber.
Yeah, I'm noticing that he used to be a thin man.
Yes.
Now,
They CG Chris Rogers' face.
Now, did they CGI him thin, or did they make him bulk up and then record again?
They CGI'd him thin.
Terrible.
They put him on a different body. They put him on a stunt double.
Did they?
I
thought
believe
they-
so.
Oh, I thought they CGI'd him thin.
No,
I
think they
guess
just
he'd be more a body
composited
double
him
than a
onto
stunt
different
double.
face, different body.
God.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can do that, and it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't remember it looking bad, but it's been a minute since I've seen the first
It
Captain
looked
America
a little
movie.
weird from just the screenshots I was looking at from the wiki. It's like, he's not, but that might also be because I'm used to seeing him as a big man.
Yeah.
But, his head doesn't look like it fits on the neck of the body that he's been put on.
Yep.
There's just I can see a few lighting errors that they made.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but he's not like that for very long. Oh god, I guess Captain America's in articles to be rewritten.
Because it's bigger than probably the rest of the wiki combined. It's
Oh god, I just
Very
looked at my
long.
scroll bar. Oh god, this page is really long.
It keeps going.
Oh
And this is-
god.
Oh, wait, also, I want to say
Hang on, I'm
something.
gonna go from the top and I'm gonna scroll from the bottom. You guys keep going. I'll yell when I get to the bottom.
Okay.
I'm being manual
wanna-
also.
I do want to point out he is born on July 4th,
Yes.
which is really
Very
special.
appropriate.
Which is really
American
special
boy.
to me. America, baby.
America, baby.
Now, there are technically other parts of the MCU. So when you're on the front page, there's the one-shots, which I haven't watched. There's also television, which I super haven't watched.
Oh god.
So here's the real fucking kicker. There are 5 different networks that are supposed to have Marvel TV shows. ABC had them for a little bit. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, and Inhumans. I watched a little bit of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I hated one of the characters so bad I never watched it again.
It's not a good show.
I kept meaning...
It kept going. It never stopped.
I kept meaning to watch Agent Carter, and I never did. Netflix, I think I started to watch Daredevil, and I was like, actually,
Oh my
I
god,
don't
that's right.
enjoy this at
Daredevil is
all.
Marvel.
So I never watched any of the like Defenders. I just didn't I was just not interested in what they had going on. I keep meaning to watch Runaways because I heard it's gay.
Oh, that's
is gay.
Marvel?
Yeah,
Oh.
and I really want to watch it, but I have a disease in my brain. But
Watch it with
also,
Alex.
The Runaways, as a sidebar, are one of the very few comics that I can suggest to people and say, like, just go read The Runaways. It's mostly self-contained.
Hey,
as
Aster,
far
do you
as I
want to
know.
vent about Marvel Comics for 20 minutes?
Depending on your internet presence, you may have seen a tweet going around that was like, oh, here's this new, like, Miss Marvel thing, and here's the read order, and it's like, Miss Marvel 72, The Amazing Spider-Man 4070 whatever. It's like 6 issues and like 2, like, it's like Series A, Series B, Series B, Series C, Series B, Series A, and I'm like,
Christ.
How is anybody supposed to read this shit? Like,
It's so unfriendly.
it's so unfriendly. Like, when Venom 2018 came out, I was like, I think I will hyperfixate on Venom. And so I was like, I want to read some Venom comics. That's a tall order.
Yeah, I remember you gave me the guide, and I followed it for approximately 5 issues, and I was like, this sucks. Which is saying
Yeah.
a lot, because I read on and off a lot of Archie Sonic, which has this problem.
Archie Sonic is bad.
No, it's, well, depends.
Marvel is worse just because of, like, every single character is like this.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's
true. Sonic is...
way more of it.
Yeah,
that
the thing
is
with
like
Sonic
this.
is that it's not that all the characters have their own comic, it's that the Archie Sonic was broken up into a bunch of comics. Like, I know that the big ones were Archie and then also Sonic Universe, and then I think there was another one and maybe a second one, and then there was also the Boom comics, which ended pretty soon after they were made, and...
Rook, I'm gonna have to stop you
We're
before
gonna
we
stop
start
you
talking.
right now.
Yeah,
because we're
we
just
can
gonna talk
stop. I
about
just
Sonic.
hang on. I'm almost at the bottom of the page. I hit the bottom of the page.
Holy shit!
That's how long Captain America's page is.
Just so you
Anyway,
know.
continue.
But so, I was like, okay, I want, like, Eddie Brock Venom. I'm gonna go for a recent Venom run. And that was somewhat easy to find. But then, randomly in the middle, there's, like, a crossover event with Spider-Man that goes, like, you have to go Venom, Spider-Man, some other fucking comic, Venom, Spider-Man, some other fucking comic.
Crossover
that's
events
how
are
you
really
have
the
to-
thing that makes these especially terrible.
And, like, fucking, when I say, like, oh, Runaways is, like, mostly self-contained. That is true. I think there's 2 or 3 series that are basically just, like, The Runaways. But not the one that came out in 2016 or whatever, because that's a fucking crossover with Secret Wars, maybe. And so some people aren't there, and fucking Cloak and Dagger are there, and they aren't supposed to be there because they're not part of the Runaways. And, like, they're in a fucking school, and it's not at all anything about what the Runaways are about. But it's still a Runaways title, because every Marvel editor stuck a barrel of a gun in my face and said, fuck you! Fuck you, Baltimore! And that's my life. Like, I love the Runaways. I care about them very much. They're all teens. I love them. One of them is a girl who has a telepathic link with a dinosaur. Like, it's a good series.
delightful.
Oh
It's such a
shit!
good
I didn't know that she was a runaway. I know her.
Yes.
Cool.
And also has Nico Minoru, who is genuinely one of my favorite Marvel characters. It's very cool. I'm going to talk about her for just a second.
That's okay,
We're
go
not
ahead.
talking technically about the MCU, but
Well, it's
Nico
Marvel.
Minoru is very cool. She has the Staff of One, and she can cast virtually any spell once.
Oh, that's awesome.
But the fascinating thing is, so say she wants to heal people, she can say heal once. And she can say it in another language, and she can say it in a different way. And
That's
she can,
so
she's
cool.
reword it, and so she basically, I think if she tries to redo the same spell that she's already used, it, like, just fucking chaos magics and fucks up.
That sounds like a tabletop item. I love that.
It's very tabletop.
Fuck
item.
yeah.
And it's super cool, and I love it. And also, she's like a cool goth Asian girl, which I love. She just has really good clothing taste. And actually, I think, shockingly, I don't think she has a colored streak in her hair.
Oh, really? Well, what was her name?
Nico Minoru. Let me pop
I
her
have
open.
I have already linked her page.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Oh, thank you so much. It is possible that in some iterations she has a streak in her hair, but at least if I recall,
Yeah,
in the
at
actual
least
show,
in this live action thing they have here of her
Iteration.
live action actor, it doesn't look like she has a streak.
she doesn't have a streak, and she is also gay with a rainbow alien.
Fuck yeah.
It's a good fucking show, and I need to finish it. But yeah, it's Runaways is very like, hey kids, hey fellow teens, do you have problems with your parents? Well, these teens' parents are supervillains.
Oh shit, really? Well,
problems
Aster,
cannot be
what,
that bad.
what platform is it on?
It's
Hulu.
on Hulu, but it may also be on Disney Plus.
If we're able to finagle it, maybe I could be your watch-in partner. Because it does sound like I consume it for power.
You absolutely could consume this for power, and it would probably be pretty enjoyable. But yes, Runaways is good, and I do need to finish it. But yeah, the thing about like when going back and kind of talking, doing my rundown, I thought, okay, like how many of these would I genuinely tell somebody to watch in the year 2020? Let me do a quick rundown in my brain.
Okay.
3 of them.
What ones are they?
Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Thor Ragnarok, and Black Panther. And I would genuinely say, like, if you are not interested in comic book movies at all, those are very good movies. A handful more of them are, like, decent. Like, Ant-Man and the 2 Ant-Man movies are great. I love them.
Yeah, they also seem very standalone.
They're very standalone. They're very fun. Paul Rudd is a delightful Ant-Man. He's a good boy. I really enjoyed Captain Marvel a lot. Like, even though it was very, like, #girlboss, I was...
Very #girlboss, very hashtag war propaganda.
Yes.
Do you want to say something, Alex?
Oh, so...
No, it was just very funny to watch with my, the former Air Force father.
Oh!
Hell yeah! They're in fighter jets! I'm like, okay. All right.
I did not know that your dad was Air Force.
My dad was Air Force, yes.
Okay, first of all, that explains a lot about you, because Air Forces are the dorky ones. And also, that makes viewing Captain Marvel with him even better. So, this character, Captain Marvel, is a fighter pilot. So it's all very like, Air Force, hoo-ah, or whatever.
Yeah, whatever ones they say.
I don't think that's them,
it's
but
not
whatever.
Hoorah.
It's not hoorah, but I don't care. I don't respect the U.S. military. But, like, I enjoyed Captain Marvel, and also every second of it is a pretty lady acting like a weirdo alien in, like, the 1990s, so, like, it's fun. But, like, there's a handful of them that I'm like, if you like the idea of comic movies, Guardians of the Galaxy still holds up pretty well. It's pretty fun. It's very colorful. It, like, especially because it came directly after Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which is, like, the grayest movie in existence.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy is one that I was intrigued by, but I don't watch movies.
That's
unless
fair.
they're animated. I really rarely watch movies. I especially don't watch movies in theaters. The only times I ever see movies in theaters is if it's, like, back in the day, if my dad dragged me to a superhero movie that I wasn't supposed to watch at the time, or if I begged to, please, let's go spend, like, $50 to go watch an animated movie.
Yeah.
I don't go to the theaters unless it's, like, a very special treat and I know I'm really gonna enjoy it. Like, How to Train Your Dragon 3. Not 3, 2. Sorry. I forgot.
Very fair.
I forgot when times happened.
Also, I want to talk about this. So yeah. Alex linked Captain Marvel's page and then linked up, like, capped a portion of it that's affiliation. Sparrows, formerly U.S. Air Force, formerly Star Force, formerly Avengers, formerly Captain Marvel said, fuck y'all. She really did. Like, at the end of, I think, Captain Marvel, she literally was just like, bye, I'm going to space now.
And she does.
And she does.
Space?
She just, like, yeah.
Do you know what she's gonna do in space?
Space things.
Okay.
Mostly she's basically like, I have an insane amount of power.
She's like,
and
she's Marvel's Superman, right?
No.
In terms of, like, sheer concentration of power, I would say yes.
Oh, I thought she was also, like, an alien.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
she's also an alien.
Okay.
She was
For
a human.
simplification.
Yes. She was a human, and then she got blasted with an alien bomb of some kind that turned her into an alien, and now she's an alien.
Now, hang on.
So... But, like, she also, in the comics, she used to be Miss Marvel, which I think is something different. And then she moved on to be Captain Marvel, and now we have Kamala Khan, who's Miss Marvel.
Which is Wonder Woman, right?
No.
No.
Okay.
No,
I know
Wonder
it's
Woman
like,
is still
I know it's
DC.
useless to compare characters and franchises, especially it's reductive to compare the female ones. But to be fair, they are both essentially the same property in my brain.
That's fair.
They're both the big superhero ones.
I would say Wonder Woman is pretty... I say this because I love her, and also just in general, like, she's fairly incomparable insofar as, like, she is literally a god. Like, honestly, if you want to compare her to somebody, you compare her to Thor.
Okay, right. Well, I more just meant, like, mascot-wise.
I'm not
None of these
sure
characters
what the...
are mascots.
Well, okay, I don't have the right words to refer to superhero characters with.
So, I would say, like...
The best I have is
like,
always Sonic characters, and they're essentially... The main cast is essentially all the mascots.
So I get what you're saying, like, the characters that are emblematic of a franchise. I would say... So, what you could almost more directly compare would be, like, the Avengers versus the Justice League.
Okay.
And... I think Black Widow might be the only woman on the original Avengers. Well, she was the only woman in the original Avengers movie. I don't know about the original Avengers lineup in the comics, but that's very complicated. So I know she was the first woman in the Avengers lineup in the movies. Physically could not tell you if she was in the comics, and I honestly don't care.
That's fair. We're talking about MCU.
Right. So when it comes down to, like, if you want to think about, like, oh, your Supermans, your Batmans, your Green Lanterns, your Flashes, that's gonna maybe be, like, Captain America, Hulk, Spider-Man. I think that Miss Marvel, especially in her current incarnation, I think she might technically be part of the Young Avengers, which is basically, like, the second generation. She sometimes pals around with Miles Morales and some of the other ones. Young Avengers is also one of those things that I've been told to read, but I can't be bothered.
You can't make me.
Marvel comics really seem like a waste of your time.
You literally, like, I have to get, like, hyper-specific, like, very insular recommendations, which is why I'm like, the Runaways are good. They're pretty insular. You just have to, like, I think there's, like, one run you have to not read. And if you just start at the bottom, it is pretty clear which one's not the right one, because it's like, why are they in space and why is half the group gone?
Yeah.
Also, yes, Alex, you are correct. She is good. There's a kitty named Goose.
Oh, Goose. Yeah, Alex just sent a picture of her in a
cockpit.
She took a cat up?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Cat
Goose
belong
is
on
not
Earth.
a cat.
Goose is not technically a cat.
What
He's
is
an alien.
Oh.
A flirkin.
Does he have an alien form?
Sort of.
It's really just a cat with big tentacle face.
Let me show me.
Oh,
Let me see if there's a picture.
Here we go. It's a little bit played as a goofum, which means that the shots go by pretty quickly, but he, like, opens up his mouth and there's a lot of bad things happening inside of there.
How'd she acquire this?
He's a friend.
I thought he was, like, the base cat, like the cat on base, but he was actually an alien.
That sounds right.
Oh, so a bit of a buster.
Yes, a little bit. Also, hold on, so this is one of those wikis that has really good captions.
Oh,
on the
yes.
images. And so I'd like to point out Goose taking a ride inside the ship.
God. Are they in space?
Oh, so Goose has his own page.
Goose does have his own page.
Fuck everything.
And there
we're
are a
talking
lot
about
of pictures
that now.
of this very cute orange cat.
Yeah, I love this over-rendered picture of an orange tabby.
It's so yes.
Oh,
And
the aliases: cutest little thing, cool cat, stowaway, flirkin' kitty, Hannibal Lecter, adorable cat, Goosey, mother flirkin'. Oh, Goose is a girl.
Wait, this is really good. Portrayed by Gonzo, Rizzo, Archie, and Reggie.
What?
The cat has actors.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, Goose is really good, and I love that he got, like, an over-rendered character portrait.
Now, does Goose I'm not quibbling the gender of a animal, but is Goose referred to with male pronouns in the thing? Because this wiki is referring to the cat as female and using feminine pronouns.
Do you think I remember any of the major details
That's
of
fair.
this movie? I remember nothing.
I really don't. remember. I really thought that Goose was a boy, but
This page is telling me this cat is a girl.
it's, I mean,
Girl power.
hashtag girl power.
Hashtag girl power. This alien cat is a girl.
Hashtag feminism.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Feminists are
Goose is,
taking over.
but yeah, Goose is really good, and I love so much that this cat just got like a character portrait.
Yeah. It's just a really
gosh.
over blasted image of an orange tabby.
It's so good. It has like the classic like
Cosmic
blue-orange-
background.
blue-orange action movie dichotomy. It's just really good. Also,
I want to be the
Alec-
person that had to edit this picture of a cat for a paycheck.
Right? I honestly, I want to be that. Oh wait, I have an even better picture of Goose hanging out inside the ship. Hold on, Goose time.
Goose time. We talk only kitties now.
Oh yeah. Goose,
Kitty
yeah.
time.
just orange
Kitty
tabby
time.
laying on a console?
Some type
Dashboard.
of dashboard, and yeah.
She placed Goose under the dashboard, which she laid upon and started purring.
Oh, also some very important lore is Goose is the reason that Nick Fury has an eye patch.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes!
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
I was
gonna
I
try to
always
get
thought
to
it
that,
was
but you
like
beat
some
me to
tragic
it.
backstory thing. He just got scratched by a cat?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that! Oh my god,
And
that's so good. That's my
and I-
favorite way to give characters scars is just benign shit, especially
And
a
I
cat.
presume because it is, well, okay. I presume partially because it's an alien cat and partially because he kind of just ignores it for the whole movie. Like, Goose accidentally ended up scratching his left eye, with Talos noting to Fury that Goose's scratch is, quote, not, quote, just a scratch. Despite Fury continuing to pretend that the scratch barely bothered him, the injury would eventually become permanent, blinding him. So I presume part of it was, I am not taking care of this kitty scratch, and also, this is not a cat, this is a fucked up alien. Sorry, I'm really just... but yeah, no, Goose is really good. Like, I love that this cat is, like, legitimately a character in this movie. They bring Goose along because the bad guys are scared of him. Her, whatever. Right.
They're scared of this cat.
They're scared of this cat, and it's really delightful.
I really do like how the injury is worded on Goose's page because it just says, Goose, however, disliked being touched repeatedly because she scratched Nick Fury's left eye because he didn't stop tickling her, permanently blinding Fury even though she did not have the intention of doing so.
She committed a crime and didn't mean to.
She commits crimes on accident.
Some cats commit crimes on accident.
It is
and some
just
cats
my
commit
nature.
crimes. I am like this. But yeah, you know, the worst part is, like, I feel like I could do a whole episode on every single movie individually. And that's
You
just
could,
because,
easily.
like, or even just, like, each of the phases, because everything happens so much in all of these movies.
God.
And especially the older the movie, the chances are bigger that I have a highly specific quibble with it.
What's your top quibble? That doesn't
I
have
think
to
I
do
would
with
just-
girl crimes, because we know.
It is a little bit related to girl crimes, but it's not 100% girl crimes, so personally, I'll allow it. Because I'm in charge.
I more meant, like, top quibble isn't like, they did a misogyny. It's like, yeah, we get it. We know. That's not me being like, you can't talk about it. It's just like, I know.
Yeah, I think it's also, like, not a Marvel specific quibble. So my biggest I think,
Society.
quibble and disappointment is the Avengers came out and everybody was like, wow, Joss Whedon is a great writer. And then Captain America the Winter Soldier is written by the Russo brothers. Still a good movie. It was one of the 3 that I would recommend to somebody. And then Age of Ultron came around and then everybody was like, oh, Joss Whedon's really bad at writing. Oh, but thank God the Russo brothers have Captain Civil War and also, I believe, Infinity War and Avengers End Game. And then those movies sucked. And I'm just like, when is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? That's my big quibble is like, when are we going to stop being like, oh, these people can write movies? Like, no, we have to kick them to the curb after like 2.
Yeah.
And maybe
once you have a repeat writer on a big franchise like this, they start getting ideas. Not to bring it back, that was the problem with Archie Sonic. The writers started getting ideas, and they kept being allowed to have ideas, and then...
Brooke, do you want to know the worst part?
Yeah.
Because I'm me, and I have... Somewhere in my brain, I think, is like a parasitic nugget of a cisman. I'm like, well, clearly they're going to talk about Star Wars next. No.
I don't know fucking anything about Star Wars, and we did 2 episodes about it.
Brooke is never going to bring up Star Wars.
And I knew that. And I knew that.
The default always has to be, I'm going to talk about Sonic. I'm either going to talk about Sonic or the thing I'm currently obsessed with.
So the problem is my first thought was, like, that was the problem, largely, I think, with the sequel trilogy, is they went Director 1, Director 2, then back to Director 1.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Star Wars.
Nobody got any shit. So it's...
I love being surrounded by people who have strong opinions about things that I have no idea about.
And, like, that's sort of the thing with the MCU is, like, okay, it would obviously be great if you could get, like, the same people for all of it. But, like, in, like, for example, Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi, he has a ethos that's basically, like, I make one movie for the people, and then I make one movie for me. And he keeps to that pretty strongly. Like, I do one thing that everybody wants me to do,
Which
and then
one
I do
was
some
Ragnarok?
weird shit. Ragnarok was for the people.
Okay. What's
Marvel
he gonna do for
counts as-
himself? Or has he done it already?
Probably Jojo Rabbit, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, Jojo Rabbit came out after. Ragnarok.
Yeah, and it seems like it was probably his weirdo personal
Oh, I thought you meant another Marvel movie.
thing. No.
No.
So yeah, no, Taika Waititi, like, has, and I love that ethos, and he's coming back for the next Thor movie because he loves me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Oh, thank God. But like, I get it, with 22 movies, you can't have the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
But the problem is, there's just enough wiggle room that Kevin Feige, the Grandmaster, the puppet master of Marvel, doesn't quite grip dicks tight enough to keep everybody in line. Which let the Russo brothers, like, get their own ideas and not agree on
What's happening in their own fucking movies.
what's happening in their own movie. Secondly,
Why'd you have to call it that?
What?
Why'd you have to call it that?
Dick gripping?
Yeah!
it was the only thing
Why?
It's threatening. It's like, if you fuck up, I'm gonna rip it off.
But if you're really good.
In my head, it was like Angel's junk removal. She'll rip it right off.
Yeah. There's 2 ways this is going, and one of them you're gonna really like.
And my second,
I'm sorry, this is a dick podcast for adults.
This is a ding dong podcast.
Yeah.
My second related quibble is fuck Marvel for being so overly invested in spoiler culture and other mega franchises being so invested in spoiler culture that they keep...
I don't know.
Yeah. Can I interrupt you briefly? Am I correct in thinking that Marvel is the reason why after credits are so obnoxious now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I thought that
Absolutely.
was the Avengers' fault, and I'm glad I'm correct.
Mm-hmm. It's like the reason that I now have to check, like, every movie for an after credits scene, because I'm like, fucking
Absolutely
Avengers and shit.
disgusting behavior.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of fun when you have this huge franchise and you get, like, little tidbits and little sneak peeks, but, like, movies that don't have any right to be doing it are now doing it.
Yeah,
and
in
I'm
my
like,
opinion, it's only cute if it's on DVD. I'm in my house. I can fast forward through the credits if I want.
Yeah, and it was like, it kind of made
sorry,
for a sort of fun, like,
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
culture. I'm gonna flatten you.
Okay.
It just made for, like, a fun in-theater culture, like, all the Marvel fans would stay and would be like, oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a little teaser. Go ahead.
In my personal opinion, if you put an after credit scene, you're a garbage person because you are encouraging people to stay there when the workers have to clean the theater.
Oh, I think at some point the workers just come in and...
No,
like,
they do, but I think it's... I feel disgusted when I stay there when the cleaners are trying to clean up the theater for the next showing. I feel disgusting. I know I have anxiety and also empathy, but
no, it absolutely feels like committing a crime.
It definitely does. Yeah. Though I have to imagine at this point, like, especially if you are at a Marvel movie, like, they know.
No, I'm sure it's expected at this point, but I'm just like, let them do their capitalism. It's okay.
My second quibble that is somewhat related to the directors is fuck Marvel for being so afraid of spoiler culture that they keep not telling the actors what's going on in the fucking movies.
Really?
So
They don't.
They just are like, you do this, and they're like, what am I reacting to? And they're like, we won't tell you.
That's not a good way to direct a film.
And the issue is they are so afraid. Like, there was a lot of discourse around spoilers when Avengers End Game came out, and I was mostly on the side of like, don't intentionally spoil it for people, because like, don't don't be a fucking dick. But also like, it is also just a movie. Like, I think you should be respectful because like, people are right. Like, it has been a very long wind up to this movie. It means a lot to people. Also, like, again, it is just rude.
Yeah, movies, I feel especially it's really rude because not everybody can go see it in theaters on opening night or even opening week.
Right.
It's like, you don't have to be a fucking asshole about this.
Right. And especially like with movies, I get like it is sometimes problematic to get out to a movie, so don't fucking spoil it. But also the fact of like the oppressive spoiler culture from everybody everywhere is like, if the movie is ruined by knowing spoilers, you made a bad movie. I prefer to not have spoilers just because like I like to be surprised by things.
Yeah.
I like to not know, what's happening. It makes for a better experience. I think people should have that opportunity to have that experience.
Me too.
But I don't fucking think that, like, I super agree with the sentiment that, like, if spoilers completely ruins your movie, you made a bad movie.
Yeah.
If the value of a movie is the twists and the turns or whatever, seeing it once, and once you go back with that knowledge, if it ruins the movie, you made a bad movie.
Yeah, in my opinion, something is very well written when even knowing the twist, regardless if you got it spoiled for you or regardless if you've seen it before, and you're still excited to see the twist, that's well written. It's really good. You're still excited even when knowing the full thing. Now, admittedly, I have a disease and I will rewatch things 15 times and still enjoy it thoroughly, but a normal human being would still find enjoyment the second time around if it's very well written.
And so I think that is sort of the issue with Infinity War and Endgame is, like, they were just so worried that, like, spoilers, and so they weren't, they fell into that trap of not trying, like, they weren't at that point making a good movie, they were trying to make a surprising movie, and that doesn't make for a good movie.
Make a horror movie, fucking, come on. If you want to make a surprise, then make a horror movie. That's all they are now. Surprise.
So, what I am hoping for this next round of Marvel movies...
Ugh.
Oh, Rook, they're still going.
I'm not even invested in that. I was like, ugh.
Now, one of the things that I love, and I have actually also seen this, and I feel this, like, tons of people after Endgame were like, I'm free. And I very much feel that way. Like, I'm like, I know that they're not going to be building up. Infinity War is basically one of the biggest arcs in the comics.
Yeah.
There's not much more to do after that. I mean, I guess you could do Galactus.
Yeah.
But Galactus is kind of just, he's another big evil purple spaceman.
Oh, really?
Thanos. Two. And so I'm like, I guess you could build up to Galactus, but like all of the other movies are going to be a little bit less loosely tied together. So like, if I don't want to see Eternals or Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I don't have to. I can just go see Thor: Love and Thunder and not see any other movies. And I'm like, I'm free. I'm free.
It does seem like it was a bit of a media shackle.
It literally was because I was like, you just have to keep seeing it because it's all going to come together. It's all going to come together in Infinity War and Endgame.
And it
came together. Did. And it sort of, it did a little bit.
They made a sandwich at least.
And I'm free. I'm free.
Yeah. You think that's a good place to stop it? We've been going for an hour 45 minutes.
I think Aster saying I'm free is a pretty good place to stop.
Yeah. I have freed myself from the chains of this fucking franchise.
Shake off your shackles.
Only a little bit, because I have my hand around Marvel's throat. And I want to say, I'm like, I don't know when you told me that Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show was going to be out, but I know filming is done. I know it's not being halted by the coronavirus, so it's out there somewhere, and I need it. I know it's for babies, but I need it. Because I love Bucky Barnes so much. A brief anecdote that's not technically about the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
There was a game that I played fairly religiously in college that was like Avengers Academy or whatever. And it was kind of like college.
I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a Let's Play of that.
Oh my god. And so I was like, okay, I don't want to spend my money on this game because I'm like, I know how this goes. You spend money once and you keep spending money.
Yeah.
I said, but if I ever have to spend money to get Bucky Barnes, I will fucking do it. And I fucking did it.
How much?
Oh my god.
What
it
price
was
did they put on his head?
I think it was, so I think that what I had to do is basically buy premium currency, and I think I also had a gift card, so I think it was just the whole $10, and then I just had that premium currency left over. So I mean,
The
I played
gift
it
card
for like
was
a
10,
decent amount of.
or did you spend $10 American to get Bucky Barnes, or was it the gift card?
I think it was the gift card, and I think that
Okay.
may have been the only money I spent on it.
Okay. To me, gift cards are a
Possibly.
lawless currency.
There may have been one other time that I really wanted to care, but I think Bucky was like this far and no further because I love him that much, and so that's why I'm like,
Jesus.
every time news comes out about one of the Disney Plus Marvel TV shows, I'm like, I don't fucking care about Loki, I don't care about Hawkeye, I don't care about Moon Knight, I don't give a shut up. I don't give a shit about WandaVision. I want you to tell me when I'm going to see Bucky Barnes again.
Jesus.
I love, because also like Falcon and Winter Soldier have a great dynamic, which is they hate each other.
Oh, good.
They're like sort of like, I think now at this point it's probably friendly antagonistic, but like it's just good shit, and I know they have it. And I
do love
it.
an antagonistic dynamic. That's why I like Sigma and Phi so much. They,
you know what? Honestly, it's a little bit like that vibe. I mean, it's not that one of them is boundlessly horny and the other one just gets smacked, but you know.
Yeah, I think Alex is trying to stop us.
I'm trying to stop you guys.
I feel like Alex is like putting the pillow over my face.
That's what it is.
Read
whenever he hangs
outro.
out with us, it's he's waiting to smother us to make us stop.
Read outro.
Oh god, that's
Okay.
my job. Hang on, I have to remember what it is. You can find us on Twitter at WikiBoys and you can find me on Twitter at Twibang.
You can find me on Twitter at AlexMostlyOK.
And you can find me on Twitter at Nerd of Goodness.
This has been Wikiboys, and we'll fix it in post.
Hooah!
Hooah!
The music used in this episode is Quirky Dog by Kevin MacLeod, found at Incomptech.com and used under the Creative Commons license.